Jesus fuck, so much for catching the tail end of the football game, right? Oh my god, I've had the goddamn Blue Jays on, and then the pressure was put on me to do a stream. I was going to take the night off, honestly. I was going to take the fucking night off. But it's probably best that we do the fucking stream tonight rather than tomorrow when there's absolutely nothing going on in the world of sports. But, yeah, tonight I think we can say it was a big fucking night for the Blue Jays. I can tell you that this is the most satisfying win that I've ever experienced in the history of watching sports, and we haven't even won a goddamn championship yet. Other than, of course, the ALCS championship, that's fine. But I've been watching the Jays for what? Probably since 95, 96. So you're saying like 29 to 30 years, something like that. So the fact that they won tonight, man, it actually got me fucking emotional. I'm not going to lie. I spent a good 10 minutes in tears over here. I'm not even fucking lying. It definitely had me in tears, just, with them dripping down or whatever, because I've invested a lot of time into a lot of fucking loser fucking teams over the years, man. I remember when the Blue Jays, you would talk about fucking winning fucking, 85 games or 81 games. I remember when they were winning 67 fucking ball games, and I was still watching that shit. Still watching that shit. I remember when a big year for us was 2006 when we were, 86 and 76? Yeah. So tonight means a lot. Whereas when I watched the Packers win the championship, I had only really been watching the Packers for 6 years? And I was watching more as just a casual fan. So yeah, we had a heartbreaking loss in 2007, but we knew that we had won in 1996, so it really hadn't been that long ago. Although it hadn't really been that long ago if you think about it from the Jays' perspective, 92, 93, but they literally went from 1993 to 2015 before making the playoffs, because back in the day, making the playoffs used to actually mean something. Only 4 teams made the playoffs while I was watching. There was only one wild card team. Now there's 2 wild card teams, or 3 wild card teams. So it's a little bit different. It's still a hard fucking tournament to get into, but I'd hate to be the people back in the day where, there was only fucking, 2 teams that made the playoffs? I think at one point it was 2 each conference made the playoffs, and then before that I think there was 1 each side. I could be wrong. 2 for sure on each side. So that's the biggest win I've ever watched, because that's years and years and years of just fucking dedication and grinding. And you know what? I gotta admit tonight, I stopped watching the ball game. I kept the fucking ball game on. I went to play a little bit of Bellotro because I was thinking, okay, Brian Woo's in the fucking game. This means we're fucked. Absolutely fucked. We had not hit the Seattle pitching at all very well throughout the entire series. And that's because they've got a very good bullpen, honestly. They've got probably, if not the best pitching overall in the game, they've got some of the best pitching in the game. Like they're top 3 or 4. I mean, this team was a contender before they reached out and nabbed fucking, Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, and Eugenio Suarez. The thing about them though, and the thing I like Seattle, so I'm gonna say, they had a great year. They won 90 games this year. I think Julio Rodriguez is a stud. I think Cal Naughton fucking Raleigh is a stud. I think they've got a lot of stud pitchers. I just don't think, to me, when you looked at their 7, 8, 9 hitters, I don't think they would have been enough to handle the Los Angeles Dodgers. Even with their great pitching, I don't think they would have had enough bat-wise to handle them. And they are very much a swing and a miss type of a team. So I think the Dodgers probably would have handled them, especially with home field advantage. Now, with the Blue Jays, I almost said the Jew Jays, the Blue Jays moving to the World Series, we do have home field advantage, so games 1 and 2 will be at home. The series will start Friday, and I mean, we get to kind of mix and match our pitching. I suspect we're going to see the exact same kind of alignment as what we saw before. Games 1, Kevin Gossman. Game 2, Trey Savage. Game 3, Shane Bieber. Game 4, Chris Bassett or Max Scherzer. I think you might want to put Max Scherzer out there one more fucking time, because I think Mad Max Scherzer wants one more fucking kick at the can. I think he wants this to be his fucking homecoming. He wants this to be the end of the line. He's going to retire at the end of the year. So that's what I'm going with in Game 4. And then, of course, you repeat Gossman, Trey Savage, and, of course, Shane Bieber in 5, 6, and 7, if it comes to that. I will tell you, as bad as the Blue Jays bullpen has been this year, the Dodgers bullpen has been as bad or worse. They've had guys like Brendan Little that are not very good. However, they've gotten some guys back in the starting rotation that they're going to utilize in the bullpen. The one they utilized last series against Milwaukee was Sasaki, and he's a guy that can cover, 2 to 4 innings easily. 2 to 4 innings. I do also want to say, before I dig into the game and what unfolded today, I do want to say fuck all the Americans that are listening right now. You motherfuckers are so fucking stupid. Honestly, the fact that you're American and that means you can't share a fucking Canadian team means you're fucking dog shit. There's 29 of you motherfuckers and there's only one of us. So go fuck yourself. The fact you're cheering against one fucking team, that just shows what a bully of a fucking country you really are. And for all you naysayers last year who said George Springer was done, okay, maybe get off your fucking advanced stats bullshit and actually watch a fucking game and actually see a fucking situation. Actually realize that George Springer is fucking 4th all time for home runs hit in the postseason. He's number 2 all time for leadoff home runs. And slow your roll and shut your fucking mouth, because I don't ever want to hear it again, you dumb motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. So I called it the Americans and I called it the Blue Jays fans. So that's equality right there. I'll call out everyone. I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. And that's all I'm going to say right now. So let's get right to it. Let's get right to the fucking ball game. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what happened. Sage loves that promo. I know. Sage is feeling that promo. You know what? I was feeling that fucking promo too. It's time for us to start making fucking shorts. It's such a great promo, they're going to shut me down. You know what? They try to shut me down. Just like all of America tried to shut down the fucking Blue Jays. Well, guess what? It didn't work, motherfuckers. So come at me, motherfuckers. I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you, YouTube. Just as bad as the fucking Americans. I'm sorry. I think in this day and age, though, it's probably considered popular to call Americans out, right? I mean, they do have their situations over the border, you know what I'm saying? All right, I gotta get right to it. So we did win 4-3. I thought the ball game was over, honestly. I'm not lying when I said I had a great Bellotro run going. I started playing Bellotro. I'll tell you which inning I started playing Bellotro. So Kirby was out after 4, which I had told Dan in the text message would happen. They're only going to let him go 4. So I believe I started playing Bellotro in inning 6. In inning 6 after 1 out. Because I really thought that it was over. I mean, they're putting their fucking starting pitcher in the bullpen there. It looked like he had great stuff, honestly. Like, his stuff looked really good. He kind of fell apart late. But when he fell apart, it's not like he did... it's not like he let much. I mean, he let 2 duck snorts to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Andres Jimenez. So he let 2 singles in a row, 2 little duck snorts. But then, George Springer comes up, and this is before... So they bring in... It was what, Basardo? So they're really getting to their high leverage guy. And I don't know if you guys know who Andres Munoz is. He's one of the hardest throwers in the game. So that's why I'm saying this game seemed to be over. Andres Munoz, this guy can hit, 101, 103, 104 even on some occasions. I'm pretty sure if you Google that, it's going to say that I'm right there. So it was looking like, because you bring this guy in for what? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it looked bad. If George Springer doesn't crank that home run, it's all she wrote. It's all she wrote, and that's why I chose that picture that I used for tonight's stream. That this is a part of Canadian heritage, and it actually is. It's actually more worthy than the shit we see on fucking television, if you ask me. Jesus fuck, I gotta stop talking a little bit. I'm a little bit amped up right now. But yeah, there you go. There you go. If there's 3 others watching, you hit the fucking like button. Come on. Unless you're American, then you can hit the dislike button and identify yourselves. Unless you're an American who's not so biased to say, hey, we don't want the Blue Jays going to the World Series because they're fucking Canadian. With all due respect, people. With all due respect. Or you can fucking hit the report button and go fuck yourselves. All right, let's move on. Let's move on before we get ourselves in a bit of a wee bit of trouble. I'm going to say Shane Bieber was absolutely not great tonight. His command was off. He did happen to get 5 strikeouts in 3 2/3 of an inning, so I like the strikeout rate. I like the walk rate. I mean, he only had 1 walk, but he let 7 hits tonight, so his whip was actually slightly over 2. So he did not get the job done. Luckily, he limited them to 2 earned runs. Now, Luis Varland, I really didn't like what he did in 1 at-bat. So that at-bat is to Cal Naughton Raleigh. He basically, he throws a changeup, and his changeup's hard. I'm not going to lie. His changeup is a 94-mile-an-hour of changeup. That's a very hard changeup. That's great. And he gets a swing and a miss. Okay, that's fine. But then, why do you double up and throw your changeup in the zone? If you're going to throw something in the zone, I'd be looking fastball up, or I'd be looking fastball down and away. Because, the fastball can kind of look like it's going to be a changeup and break out. Maybe he takes it, and you go up 0-2. So I thought that was not great pitch selection by him and Captain Alejandro Kirk. And we found ourselves down 3-1. And that was not a good thing. Early in the game, I feel like Bieber, that home run that he let to Julio Rodriguez, I'll say it was out. It was off the plate. The problem was it was off the plate mid. And somehow Julio Rodriguez was able to turn on it and drive it out. If that pitch is down, that pitch ain't getting hit fucking anywhere. It's getting hit right into the fucking dirt if he makes contact at all. Box score. Let's just quickly go over the box score here. Obviously, we know tonight's hero, George Springer, who is 4th all-time in home runs. And you know what? I think he's at 23, motherfuckers. I think he's at 23. So I think it's very possible by the end of this fucking series that George Springer has the most postseason home runs of all time. It's either 26 or 27. I could be wrong. Let me just check my text from Graham here. So, I'm going to fact check myself. So just give me 1 fucking minute here while I take a look and see what the text actually says. Because I don't want to be wrong. I know I was wrong yesterday when I said that Micah Parsons, that was his first 3-sack game in his career. It was his first 3-sack game as a Packer. So for anyone who wanted to call me out, call my ass out. All right. So I'm going to say, okay, most career postseason home runs. You got Manny Ramirez, 29. So he's not catching Manny Ramirez. Jose Altuve, 27. George Springer and Kyle Schwarber, 23. So, you know what? If George Springer kind of keeps hitting the way that he's hitting, I wouldn't be overly surprised if he hit fucking 4 home runs in this series. I mean, it's unlikely, but it actually would not surprise me with how he's been playing. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Obviously, that's a long shot, but that kind of puts it into perspective how good George Springer is, and honestly, how anyone who's calling out that contract, Yeah, I get it. You know, there's a lot of us that we don't make much money, but I'm talking in the sports world when there's no salary cap. You paid George Springer 6 years, 150 million. Okay, cool. What did we end up signing because of George Springer? We ended up signing a lot of guys. You think fucking Kevin Gossman, Chris Bassett, and others are coming here to Canada? Um, if we don't have a guy like George Springer, I don't think so. George Springer has he's been a huge turning point for our fucking team, regardless of how he played last year. Like a lot of that's what I like about a lot of people last year. They all said he was done. They all said he was done. And you know what? I didn't expect him to balloon up and do what he did this year because I did not expect that. That's just not realistic, honestly speaking. But to say someone's done is kind of dumb. When that person probably played 120, 130 games, they hit 20 home runs. To me, you're done when like your power's gone. Like if he was like to hit like fucking 6 or 7 home runs and then have that OPS, yeah, I'd say he's done because he doesn't have power. As long as you got power, you're gonna have a role. Now he might not be a starter. Like Springer next year might not be a starter for us. Like let's be real here, he might be a role player. Who really gives a fuck at this point? You've gotten fucking 5 years out of 6 for the contract. You've gotten a fucking World Series appearance because he just hit the fucking biggest fucking home run that we've ever had outside of what, Joe Carter in Game 6 against the Philadelphia Phillies in 1993. Anyways, we'll move off that. Just drives me nuts when fans speak too soon, honestly. Like I said, 1 for 3 tonight for George Springer, 2 runs scored, 3 RBI. He was pretty much our offense, also drew a walk. Nathan Lucas was 1 for 4. Vlad Guerrero was 1 for 4. Captain Alejandro Kirk, 1 for 4. Dalton Varsho, I really liked what I saw in his first at-bat. I mean, he had 2 hits tonight with an RBI. I really liked what I saw in that first at-bat, though, really digging into the ground to hit a slider that was pretty damn low. So I liked what I saw with Varsho tonight. Ernie Clement, 1 for 4 tonight. No other production. Addison Barger, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Isaiah Kiner Falefa was what was he? Fucking 1 for 4 with a run scored, obviously, the one that came from Springer. And then Andres Jimenez, 1 for 1 with a walk. That doesn't really make sense. But I'm not going to ask questions. But again, the big home run is obviously Springer. And you gotta tip our hats to the bullpen. The bullpen has not been good this year. Sir Anthony Dominguez was dominant in 1 inning, 0 earned runs in the 1 frame. Kevin Gossman picked up the win. He was struggling in the bullpen. No earned runs in an inning pitch, but he had 3 walks, so he got into trouble there. Somehow got out of it, which I love to hear. That's when I was not watching. Chris Bassett coming out. I mean, he had a pretty smooth 8th inning, honestly. And then Jeff Hoffman struck out the side. So he didn't let a hit, a walk, or anything. He just struck out 3 in a row. So he just said, fuck this shit. I know how I felt with the Phillies not to advance, in a Game 7 game 2 years ago. And he just said, fuck it, I'm punching my fucking ticket to the goddamn fucking World Series. And we did it when we needed to. I'm telling you right now, we did it when we needed to. If we had gotten past Bizardo to Andres Munoz, we would not have hit Andres Munoz. We would not have hit him at all. So the timing was perfect. It seems kind of like a team of destiny in a way. I think that this team is top to bottom extremely great. Like I said, if Seattle was to make the finals, I would pick on their 7, 8, 9 hitters. They need to add more depth there in the offseason if they want to be competitive. Not to be competitive, but if they want to actually really get after it a little bit more. I feel they need to add 7, 8, 9 hitters. Now, they're going to keep J.P. Crawford, of course, so they just need to add to their 2 spots there. Rivas, Robles, and that Canzone guy or whatever the fuck he is. But it was a damn big win. That's all I got to say. It's the biggest win I've ever fucking been a part of as a Jays fan, and the most emotional win I've ever seen as a fucking sports fan as well. We do have football on tonight too, by the way. Like currently we've got Seattle up 20-12 against the Texans with looks like 3 minutes 11 seconds left in the third. So I'm not really going to touch that right now. We'll probably go over that tomorrow. Looks like CJ Stroud is playing a garbage game, 1 interception, a 53 rating, whereas Sam Darnold has 1 touchdown, 179 yards, 8.1 average, and 97 rating. So we'll see if Seattle's able to hold off the Houston Texans, who I did predict to win, but again, don't trust CJ Stroud. Quickly going to go over the Detroit Lions game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of ended up being a dud, if you ask me. Let me see if I can just do something here. If it lets me fucking talk. All right, we're going to start a poll while I get into everything over here. The bunt, very important what Jimenez did. That's why an at-bat was taken away from Jimenez. That does make sense. He moved him to second and third base there. It doesn't look as important, though, when someone just comes up and hits a fucking home run, does it? That's what's funny about bunts, is you're giving up a note. And then some other motherfucker might just come in and just hit a fucking home run. Or you might just fucking strike out of the next one, right? So I think you are correct there. So we just put a poll up there. I'm going to take a quick look at what happened in Detroit. Probably go over it in more detail tomorrow. It doesn't look like Baker Mayfield was super efficient tonight. 28 for 50, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 228 yards for a mere 66 rating. Jared Goff, I mean, he was okay, 20 for 29, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a 91 rating. Jahmyr Gibbs was off the fucking rocker, 136 fucking yards on 17 carries with 2 touchdowns. My boy David Montgomery, who is newly acquired, was shit, 13 carries for 21 yards. They did pick up the win. I know Mike Evans got injured. I think it was his shoulder or a concussion, or both. I also heard there might be another injury in there. He's supposed to miss most of the season. He'll be back late. So if you have Mike Evans, you might want to, look for other options. I think that the reception by Cade Otton tonight was bullshit. He had a reception, and it looked like he was down, and they called it I don't know what they called it, a fumble or an interception. I'm not sure what they called it, but they said Mollett basically took it down, and I did not agree with that whatsoever. But it is what it is. I was more interested, more invested in the Blue Jays game. That's really all there is to it. So, yeah, it's time for us to move the fuck on. We've got the World Series coming up on Friday. Let me just see the comments. We've got people flooding us with a leaf, a wave, and then 7 baseballs. I hope the 7 baseballs doesn't mean that we're doing another 7-game series. I don't know if my blood pressure can take such a load, honestly. I'll end up just dropping like it's hot if I've got to fucking do it again, honestly. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. The stress. It's a good thing I'm not a fucking player. It's a good thing I'm not a fucking player, because I wouldn't be able to handle the fucking stress first and foremost. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to watching either the game or the Blue Jays party. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Huge win. Go Jays go. And have a good night, everyone. It's been a fucking fun night. It's been a stressful night too, though. So that's all I gotta say. Let's close the poll and see what the results yield. It looks like the results yield that 67% of the entire universe believe that the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. And that's without my vote, which counts for about 100 million. So It's pretty damn impressive. All right, have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.